Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I start my onion and leek seeds. So what you're going to need are onion seeds, and I have this one here from Burpee Countrywide Hybrid. There we go, Countrywide Hybrid. And American Flag leek, which is a pretty common leek. You can kind of buy it everywhere. Now, one thing before I get started, when you look for your onions, for here up north, you're going to want long day onions. Now, that didn't say this on here, but I remember, and I don't see anywhere it says it on here. But what I did was I kind of Googled it. I think I Googled it. I went to the Burpee site and saw these were long day. So when you're up north, you want long day. South, you want short day. Because if you buy short day onions up here, up in the north, and I'm in zone 5, you're not really going to develop a onion bulb. What else you are going to need are a couple of containers or pots, and I'm just repurposing these, and you can see this one was a pepper plant I bought somewhere. I don't know what this one was, some flower or vegetable. I did wash them out with some soap and water and rinsed them out really well. And another item you're going to want to have are these Ziploc bags, or any kind of sandwich bag that will fit over the top of this container. And you're also going to want a container, something like this, to put water in. You're also going to need some potting soil, and I use this brand here. It's Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. Now, what I prefer, you'll see there are ones with cocoa coir out there, and there are ones with peat moss. I prefer the peat moss. When I've used cocoa coir in the past, I haven't had good results. It dried out on me, and the seeds didn't start very well. So I just prefer the one with peat moss, but if you like cocoa coir, you can use that too. You're also going to need like a bucket of some sort or big bowl, something to put your seed starting mix in, right there. And lastly, you're going to want a marker like this. It doesn't have to be a Sharpie, obviously, to mark your pots with leeks or onions. So what you're going to want to do is first thing you're going to want to do is put your potting mix in a bucket, and then gradually put water in here and keep mixing it, squeezing it, mixing and squeezing it until it soaks up the water. Until you kind of have like some, if you can see it, some droplets come out. Yeah, you can see it there. See the droplets come out? It's pretty good then. It's pretty hydrated. There's also no need to fertilize this stuff yet. So once you have this potting mix, seed starting mix all hydrated, you're going to want to start filling your pot. So what I like to do is put it in the bottom first and kind of pack the bottom down just a little bit, because if you don't, it's kind of just drop out the bottom. See the holes there? If you do, it's just going to kind of keep falling out the bottom. So pack it in kind of good at the bottom, just the bottom. Then continue to fill up your pot. I'd say right about here, and kind of tap it a bit. Tap it a bit to kind of settle it down. Pack it a little bit. You don't want it packed tight, but just a little bit like that. And fill it up a little bit more. You can see see how much space is in there right now. So I like to fill it up a little bit more before I put the seeds in. So there you go. Tap it down again. So right there. Kind of even. See, that looks pretty good to me. You can see how much gap is there. That's pretty good. Pack it down a little bit. All right, the next thing you want to do is take your seeds. I'm going to start with the onions here. This will be the same process for the leeks. Take your onion seeds, kind of put them in your hand, like so. It's probably too many for me because I'm not going to grow that many onions, but now remember, all these probably will not sprout. So take that into consideration. And what I like to do is I kind of just Sprinkle them. Kind of scatter them along the top of the soil here. As many as you want. I'm going to do a few pinches. One more pinch, that'll be enough for me. You can kind of do as many as you want, because good thing about onions and leeks is that even no matter how hard they are clumped together, you can pretty much rip them apart, plant them in the soil when it's time, and they will grow. Believe me, they're one tough plant. Okay, now after I get those scattered all over the top like that, all I do is take some more soil and gently cover it up. Cover the top a little. Cover all those onion seeds, or leek seeds, either one. Kind of the same. Cover it up. It's kind of a good layer. I think I'll just add just a little bit more. So you see it's not a lot of soil, potting mix. Then I gently tap it down. Gently, don't push down too hard. You don't want to compact the soil. Gently tap it down. And you're going to repeat the same process for the leeks or other onions, whichever. Now after I have the seeds all planted in the pots, and of course you can see I did the leeks and I did the onions, and you can see I labeled. This is the leek, February 10th. Red onion, February 10th. I like to kind of water them in, right? Because this is damp, but it's going to dry out quite quick. So I take water, go ahead and fill it up like this. It's probably too much water, but it doesn't matter. I'll just dump it out and give it to other plants. I like that to soak up the water in there to keep it moist, so I don't have to really go back and water it, because you want the seeds to stay damp. You don't want them to dry out or they're not going to germinate. So let them soak the water up, and when you'll, maybe an hour, I don't know, just kind of, when you first put them in, you'll feel the weight, and then when the water is completely soaked up, it'll be a lot heavier. So you'll kind of know, and you'll see the soil is more damp on top, stuff like that. Then you want to take them out of the bowl. You don't want them sitting in water. Now you see I'm starting these onion and leek seeds February 10th here in zone 5. That's because these leeks and onions take quite a long time to grow. I think on the back of this package it said, yeah, see, 125 days right there. 125 days to harvest. This, starting them inside, is going to give you a really good head start, and then by the time harvest time gets here fall, you're going to have some really big onions and leeks. And I'll link that at the end of this video, the onion harvest I had last year, and maybe the leek one too. Okay, so let's fast forward. Let's say these have completely soaked up the water. And what you're going to want to do, what I always do, I put a baggie over the top, right? Move this out of the way. So what this is going to do is retain moisture and humidity in this. I put it over the top. And then what I'm going to do is go place them under a grow light I have here in the basement. Give them a little extra warmth, and then when they pop, you know, they'll get the light right away. So you can see how I do it. I have a grow light up above here, up above these plants here. These are the pepper plants and stuff I am overwintering. And by the way, this one's coming back rather nicely. And I just leave them there until they sprout. And once they get going really good, growing a lot, I'll take this plastic off, but that'll be a while. Now you don't have to put them under grow lights. You can put them under like fluorescent lights you can buy at the store. You can put them in a very bright, let's say south or west facing window, but you're going to want to keep rotating them as they sprout because they're going to pull towards the sun. So one other thing, always kind of pay attention to the germination time. So the onion takes 7 to 14 days. So anywhere between that, they should be sprouting, popping up through the soil. And these leeks take 14 to 21 days. So it's going to be a bit longer than the onion. So kind of pay attention to that, because if they're going over 21 days, you may have some bad seeds and you have to start over again. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. and I will see you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Happy growing.